Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure the notification bell is switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now for today's video, I have a super exciting one because I'm going to be testing a bunch of makeup from the new SUPERDRUG brand, which is called Studio London. Now they did have the B brand, but that got discontinued and they've brought out a whole new brand. There's foundations, concealers, lip products, eyeshadows, face spray, cream products, powders, literally everything. There's so much that they've launched, and today I've picked up a bunch of products to test out for you guys. I'm so excited to be trying out this brand because everything is so affordable. Like, everything is under £10. I know, it's absolutely amazing. I love discovering new drugstore brands and I love trying out affordable makeup for you guys on this channel. I'm losing my voice. Now I also would have had this video up much sooner than I anticipated, but my first parcel got lost in transit, so I had to get a refund from them and then re-order a bunch of stuff, and then stuff I ordered my first order wasn't available in my second order. So yeah, it was all very much a palaver, but it's okay because it's all here now. I've got it on my face. If you would like to see all the products I picked up from Studio London, application of them, what I think of them, my review, then please keep watching. So they don't have any primers yet. I've done a little bit of skin prep. I firstly used the Revolution Pro Miracle Cream, and then this primer combo. I'm absolutely loving this at the moment. This is the P. Louise Hydrate the Heartbreak Primer because my skin is very dry at the moment where we've been transitioned into like really cold weather in the UK. And then in my T-zone I've been using the Beauty Crop Cocoa Gold Perfecting Primer. This is a brilliant like pore T-zone area primer, so I've been loving these two together recently. And now firstly we're going to be trying the foundation. Now this is the Flaunt Flawless Perfecting Foundation. It has SPF 20 and it claims to have 12-hour wear. I got mine in the shade 18. What I will say about shopping online, just don't. Go to SUPERDRUG and go get your shades yourself because the shades were so hard to tell online. The shades like work backwards for the foundation, so shade 20 is like the fairest and then shade 1 is the darkest. I kind of went a little bit in from the palest. It looks very yellow though, which I'm a little bit worried about because I don't have like a yellow undertone, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like. It's in a little plastic tube and it does have like this type of applicator. I just had a look and this actually has 50ml in it, so it may look small, but don't judge it on its smallness because it does have a lot of product in it, actually a lot more than what a normal foundation would have. Normal foundations have about 30ml. This is £9 and I did think that was a bit expensive compared to the prices of the other products, but the fact that you get 50ml in here, that actually makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to put any concealer on my face. I would normally cover up my acne and my redness and stuff, but I'm not going to do that because I want to test out the coverage of the foundation. Based off of that, what I just did there, it looks like a very thin consistency, but let's see what the coverage is like. Shade match is actually not too bad. It's definitely not as yellow when you actually blend it out on the skin, which is good. I'd say the coverage is a good medium. It's not super high coverage, but it's also not, I wouldn't consider this a low coverage. It's covered my acne quite well actually, considering how dark it is. But I'm just going to add a little more. Okay, so this is the foundation with a second layer. As you can see, it is a very dewy foundation. It's not super oily looking dewy. It's actually a very nice glowy sort of finish. The coverage is not super full just because you can see my acne, but with concealer on underneath, like what I would normally do, they would pretty much be covered. The consistency of it is super liquidy, meaning that it's lightweight and it really doesn't feel like much on the skin at all. It kind of gives me tinted moisturiser vibes but with more coverage, so if that is your thing, you are going to love this. By the way, I think everything is vegan and cruelty free, which is amazing. Next we're going to be trying their concealer. This is the Flaunt Flawless Cream Concealer Weightless Full Coverage. I got mine in the shade 11. Now this looks quite pale, so you know, the shades are not consistent throughout all of the products. They are different, like the concealer shades and the foundation shades, which can be quite confusing, which again, I think you should just better off going in store to test out your shades. This is what the doe foot looks like, and I'm literally just going to put this all over my face and see if it gives me a bit more coverage. This is a totally different vibe to the foundation. So this has a little bit more of a thicker consistency and definitely has more coverage. It's definitely covered up my blemishes a lot more. And I've noticed that it does dry down, not super quickly. I did have enough time to blend out everything on my face, but I wouldn't leave this sitting here on your face for a long period of time because I feel like it will just take off everything underneath. But the concealer is definitely more of my vibe in terms of coverage, and I really like it. The shade was a really good shade as well. I feel like it's evened out the yellowness from my foundation, and yeah, I really enjoyed that actually. I've just added a little bit more on that blemish there. I had some cystic acne there, annoyingly, and like the top layer of the skin is off. It sounds absolutely grim, but anyway, I've just put a little bit more to cover that up. Next we actually have a couple of cream products to try, which I'm super excited about. We have a cream bronzer and a cream blush. Now they don't actually have any powder versions of bronzer or blush. I'll have to use my own to finish off my makeup, but yeah, I'm so excited for these. I'm pretty sure this was like £5 and this surely was a little bit cheaper. So this is the packaging for all of the compact products. This is what it looks like, and this is the bronzing cream in the shade number 4. Now it may look a little bit dark maybe on camera, but in person it's really not that dark, so I'm hoping this will be like a sheer type of bronzer. So I'm just gonna take some on my brush and let's see the consistency of it once I get my hair out of the way. Ah, yeah. So it's giving like super blendable, super buildable cream bronzer vibes. But I feel like I loaded quite a lot on my brush, but it wasn't that much, but you can definitely build it. Look at that. So that is the cream bronzer. I think I've taken that a bit too far down. But that is the cream bronzer on. It is definitely a really nice, lightweight, again, lightweight, buildable product. If you are sort of like scared of cream bronzer or you're a beginner in cream bronzer, this would be like a great one to start with because it is a really nice sheer blendable buildable cream bronzer. And I'm gonna guess that's gonna be the same vibe for the cream blush. So this is in the shade Inner Glow. It is a beautiful soft pink shade. Again, very beautiful cream product. I feel like it has a tiny bit more pigment than the bronzer does, but it looks absolutely beautiful on my skin. Very like dewy as well. I'm noticing that across all these products. They're very buildable, lightweight, dewy, and it just looks absolutely beautiful on my skin. It's a shame about the acne ruining it though, but oh wells. Now, in the first order that I placed that got cancelled, I did actually order the translucent loose powder, which I was so excited about. But when they lost the parcel in transit and I had to reorder, I could only get my hands on a pressed powder, which I was gutted about because I was so excited to try the loose one. But this is the You Matte pressed powder mattifying finish in the shade 10. So again, this is the packaging. And this is shade 10. It looks a little bit yellow like what the foundation did. I feel like, did I just pick up yellowy shades or are they yellowy? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I must have just picked really badly. Okay, so this is the powder on. Most definitely set my base in place. What I do find though with pressed powders is that they don't last very long on my skin. I do find I do get quite oily, even like through filming. If I've used a pressed powder, by the end of filming I've like started peaking oils. My oils have started to peek through, so that's why I really wanted to try the loose powder, but hopefully it will come back in stock very soon and I can try that. But for the actual first base of application, it has really nicely mattified my skin down. We'll see if by the end of this video if my oils have started to peek through, but it does the job. I mean, if you need something to just quickly mattify with, this would be a great powder. I just put some bronzer, blush and my brows on. I used my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Kylie Pink Power Blush and then my Revolution brow shaping wax in ash brown. Now for highlighter, I did actually grab two products. I grabbed the liquid highlighter and I grabbed the highlighter trio. This actually wasn't on there when I first looked, I don't think. I don't remember seeing it. This, however, as well, is way too dark for me. This is like a dark gold bronzy liquid highlighter, so I couldn't possibly use this. The annoying thing about this is that the picture online looked like it was going to be a light shade, like a fair light shade. It was like a pinky one, and then when it arrived, this turned up. The swatches didn't make sense, the like shade names didn't match up, so I just decided to give up with this. I did reorder it, but it was still a wrong shade, so yeah. Just fully gave up the liquid highlighter, but I am gutted because I really wanted to try that. Luckily we do have the powder highlighter to try. So this is the You Do You powder highlighter in Radiant Glow. In here you get 3 shades of highlighter. You get like a fair to light shade, a medium and like a more deep pinkier shade as well. Of course I'm going to go in with this gold shade. In the pan it does have quite like a powdery texture, but when you build it up on the skin it does look very beautiful and pigmented. It's not the most blinding metallic sort of highlighter, it is just like a glowy powder, if that makes sense. The colour is beautiful, it definitely works for a fair skin, so I'm glad they've done, if they're just going to bring out one highlighter product, at least it's something that a lot of people can use. Okay, to finish off the face, we do have a setting spray. They do have 2. They have a matte version, which is what I've got, and they've also got a dewy version. Probably should have got the dewy one because of how like dry my skin is at the moment, but I have so many dewy setting sprays, and for the like long days I am going to reach for a matte one over a dewy one. So this is what the packaging looks like for the setting spray. It is like actually upside down, so this is the packaging like up the right way, yet when you pull the bottom the pump is like that, so you hold it with the right and upside down. I don't know, it's funky, it's cool. It's the mister. Ah, it's quite a nice one. It doesn't have like a strong chemically smell either, so let's pop this on. Okay, so this is my base now with the matte spray on, and I think it's definitely worked to melt all of the powders together. I don't really look powdery anymore, whereas before I was looking a little bit powdery, but not anymore. And with the matte spray, hopefully that will help the makeup last longer. Okay, so this is the palette I picked up. There was a few colour options. This is the shade Bold Heat, and this is what it looks like. It's definitely giving the orangey brown tones in it, and also there's no mirror, it's just like a cardboard packaging. Yeah, the only thing I would straight up say about this is that there's no like light shimmers in here. The shimmers are quite dark. The matte shades in here are absolutely beautiful. So firstly I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Ember, and I'm going to pop that in my crease. Oh, and by the way, I have the Revolution Advent Calendar eye primer on. Next I'm going to add a little bit of Blaze, which is the orange, and I'm just going to add some of that on top. The matte shades so far are really pigmented, like look at that, and this palette is only £5. Like, hello? I'm struggling to like believe how an eyeshadow palette is more affordable than the foundation of the brand. That is absolutely crazy. But I mean, this is only £5 and you get 9 shadows in it. Okay, to blend out that crease shade, I'm going to take the shade Intense, this one here. It has a slightly more pinky, lighter undertone. Okay, to add a little depth to the inner and outer corner, I think I'm going to take the middle shade, which is called Flare. Okay, for the shimmer, I do want to try one in the palette because obviously I want to test the formula out. I think I'm going to take the shade Ignite, which is this one here. I'm going to take it on my finger. This is what the shade looks like. It's a beautiful bronzy shimmer. It's not a powdery shimmer at all. It's really nice and thin in consistency, but it does pack a punch. Look how shimmery that is. Cute. And then to blend either side out, I'm going to take this shimmer down here, which is called Heat. And then for my lower lash line, I'll use the shade Torched. This is the only matte I haven't used from the palette, and there's only like 2 shades I haven't used, so I have managed to use quite a lot of shades from this palette. Okay, so these are all the shades I've used from the palette, and I am so impressed. This palette costs £5 great British pounds, and it is looking like this in my eyes. Super impressed. Now, because there isn't a bright inner corner and brow bone shade, I'm just going to take the same gold we used for my highlighter from this palette. I feel like I just need something to brighten up the look a little bit. Perfect, so that is exactly what I wanted to do, just give it a little bit of brightness, and that has done the job perfectly. Now they do like eyeliners, they did brow stuff like brow pencils, they did eye pigments, but I didn't pick any of that up because I wanted to just try out kind of like the basics. The eye pigments, I mean, that takes real skill to do things like that, and I'm pretty much just good enough with the eyeshadow palette. But if there is anything else on the brand you want me to test out, please let me know down below, and I'll be sure to do a part 2 testing. So that is the eyes done. I don't think there was a mascara either, unless I missed that as well. I'm not entirely sure. I did get quite lucky. I did get all this on 3 for 2, and I also had a discount code, so that's why I was able to get so much. And yeah, so that is just going to be my eyes done with Studio London stuff. I'm just going to pop on some mascara, and then I'll be right back so we can test out the lip products. Okay, so I'm back. I did pop on some mascara. I tried out the Revolution Game of Thrones actual mascara today, and I mean, it's still not working the absolute best for me, but it has given me a little bit for my eyes, and this is the completed eye look. Now for the lips, Loose Lizzie, are you proud of me? Because I got a full like lip combo. I got a lip liner, I got a lipstick, and I got a lip gloss as well. I don't think all these shades are going to match, but we're going to try it anyway. Firstly, I got a Precision lip liner, and this is in the shade Power Brown. It is an actual pencil, which I do prefer these days, which is great. So I've got a dark brown lip pencil. I picked up the Power Pout lipstick in the shade Feeling Ambitious, which is a bit more of like a pinky nude, but we're gonna make it work. And then I got this lip gloss free because I made like a second order to get, I've got hair in my mouth, there we go, because I made a second order to get a few more bits, and this is the Shimmer Gloss Glass Effect Shine Power Pout in the shade Add Inspiration. Now they do have 2 types of glosses. They have the regular glosses, and then they have these shimmer glosses. So we're going to see what this we're going to see what this looks like. First though, let's add the lip liner. Really excited about this. Okay, this is only £3, and this is such a good lip liner. It is so creamy, but a pencil, which I absolutely love, and it's so pigmented as well. Okay, next we're going to try out the lipstick. Okay, so this is the lipstick. I'm getting very much like Kylie Jenner vibes with this lip combo. I don't know. But the lipstick, again, super creamy and pigmented. It's not a matte lipstick. Doesn't claim to be, does it? Velvet Longwear Colour 12 Hours. It went on super creamy, really nice. Love the formula of that. And now we're going to finish off with the shimmer gloss. Did I show you what it looks like? This is the colour of it. It is absolutely gorgeous. It says non-sticky. Lips are not sticking together at all. That feels super comfortable on the lips. Really hydrating. Wow. If you love a super glossy, lightweight lip, you are going to love these shimmer glosses. Look, I literally can't stop staring. Look how glossy that is. Love. And also just an update on the pressed powder. I can see my oil slightly starting to peek through, especially under my eyes. That's when I can mostly tell that my skin is not going to last long. So that is not a long lasting powder for me. I'd probably use that to like top up my oiliness like on the go. I can't see me using that on like a very regular basis to actually powder my face down. I'm definitely more of a loose powder kind of gal. But this is my completed face using a bunch of products from Studio London by SUPERDRUG. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like we've had a fairly successful video today. There wasn't really anything that I didn't like or didn't get on with. Just the pressed powder is just a preference thing. It's not gonna make my makeup last long, so I would prefer to try like the loose powder. Literally everything else worked amazingly. I was super impressed with the foundation and concealer, especially at how lightweight that foundation was and the medium coverage of it, considering it has like such a runny consistency. I was really impressed with that. The concealer's really nice. I can't wait to try that. Literally everything. I'm so impressed. I'm absolutely gutted I didn't get to try the liquid highlighter. Maybe I can find that in a lighter shade at some point. I think the highlighter, I can say, is not my favourite highlighter in my collection. I don't find it to be as blinding as my other highlighters in my collection, but you know me, I do love a super metallic blinding highlighter. This one definitely has more of like a glow to it rather than blindingness, and it is like just a tiny bit more of a powdery formula. But for how much you pay for this makeup, I am so impressed. Like even the foundation, I know that's a little bit more pricey than everything else, but you get 50ml in there, don't forget. So that is such a good value for money, especially for a drugstore foundation. Even with drugstore ones, you don't get that much product. So yeah, very impressed. I'm very happy with this. I think if you are a beginner in makeup, this could be a great brand to start with, because some of the products, like the cream products, if it's not something you're used to using, you can really work well with them to build instead of them being too pigmented. And everything is so affordable. Everything, I mean, the majority of it is actually £5 and under, apart from the foundation. So this could be a great brand to start playing with makeup with. So yeah, overall, I'm quite impressed with this brand. I think it's brilliant. I think if you want me to test anything else from the brand that I haven't yet tested, let me know down below, and I can definitely do a part 2 testing, like retrying things and then trying like a couple of new things as well. I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you did enjoy it, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Let me know down below what you think of Studio London. I would absolutely love to know. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below. And I got a bit too excited then, I was about to start waving. Hadn't finished that yet. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!